My penis was oscillating between extremely sensitive and borderline traumatized.
This one's wife, Harry, flies home. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Martin Robinson writes in the Daily Mail, Prince Harry puts aside royal rift and flies to visit King Charles. Duke of Sussex leaves flood-hit Monty Shitshow for London to visit his cancer-stricken father, as experts urge him to put the past behind him and pull together with his family. Naturally, the serious news that his father has a cancer diagnosis has prompted Harry to drop everything and return to the United Kingdom. It's understood that King Charles telephoned Harry to tell him of this news. Whilst details of the type of cancer, its level of seriousness and level of advancement have not been shared, the fact of this diagnosis in itself is serious, and the news sufficiently so to cause Harry to immediately return. This is demonstrative of his emotional empathy, that he recognises that this is a worrying matter both for him and, of course, his father, and therefore he made immediate steps to return. Mr. Robinson writes, Prince Harry may already have taken off from LAX for London to be with King Charles after he was diagnosed with cancer, but this one's wife, Archie and Lilibet, are staying at home. I'll be dealing in a separate video with the responses of this one's wife to this news to help you understand the narcissist perspective. The fact that Harry has gone demonstrates that either she has given him her blessing to do so, or he's gone irrespective of what she may think about it, demonstrating that he's not completely lost and therefore is capable of seeing and doing the right thing. Harry's father called him personally to tell him the devastating news, and the Duke of Sussex has jumped on a plane so he could be in the UK later today. A luxury Range Rover believed to be carrying the British royal was seen arriving at LAX's VIP terminal last night, and there are claims he boarded the earliest flight and could be in London by lunchtime. His father is believed to be resting at Clarence House today, with Princess Beatrice and her husband, Edoardo Mapelli Mozzi, seen leaving this morning. It is not known if Harry will stay in central London to be close to the King or stay at Windsor, most likely at the empty Frogmore Cottage. Royal commentator Richard Fitzwilliams said, I'm sure Harry will put aside the past right now for this serious issue. The royal family, including the Sussexes, it's so important that everyone is pulling in the right direction. The King spent last night at home in London after beginning outpatient cancer treatment, as family and friends revealed that the monarch remains hugely positive following his bombshell diagnosis. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak said today that he was shocked and sad to hear about the King's cancer diagnosis, but revealed thankfully this has been caught early. Harry could be in the United Kingdom as early as lunchtime, but it is not known if he will see his brother Prince William or the Princess of Wales, who is recovering from serious abdominal surgery at their home in the grounds of Windsor Castle. But experts have said they hope that the Duke of Sussex's last-minute trip could finally bring Harry, Charles and William closer together. Last time the Prince flew to the United Kingdom was in September for the Well Child Awards, where he stayed in a hotel. This One's Wife missed the United Kingdom altogether, meeting him in Germany for the This One's Wife Games. It is understood the Duke asked if he could stay at Windsor Castle to allow him to visit his grandmother, the late Queen Elizabeth II's place of rest, but permission was denied. Harry usually travels with his own private security team after being stripped of his right to automatic police protection when he left the royal family in 2020. The King contacted both the Duke of Sussex and the Prince of Wales personally to tell them of his cancer diagnosis before it was announced by Buckingham Palace. A source close to Harry said that he had immediately decided to come to the United Kingdom to be by his father's side. Experts have claimed that Harry's dash to Britain indicates the seriousness of the king's condition. That may well be the case. Harry lives on the other side of the world, and if it was relatively minor, the king may well have said to him, "This is what it is," and Harry would have said, "Do you want me to come and see you?" And Charles may well have said, "It's not necessary, but we would welcome a visit in the not-too-distant future. You don't need to come this moment." Nevertheless, Harry is suitably concerned by this news, and whilst people may read into it that demonstrates that it is particularly serious, it may well just be the case that he is concerned about his father's health and feels that it is right and appropriate for him to return now. Announcing that Prince Harry will come and see his father, the office of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex said the Duke did speak with his father about his diagnosis. He'll be travelling to the United Kingdom to see His Majesty in the coming days. Richard Fitzwilliams told The Sun, "I'm sure Harry will put aside the past right now for this serious issue. The royal family, including the Sussexes, it's so important that everyone is pulling in the right direction." Former BBC royal correspondent Jenny Bond said she hoped that King Charles III's cancer diagnosis will bring a reconciliation with Prince Harry. Harry's estranged brother William is also in close contact with his father, but neither brother has made a public statement yet. The heir to the throne, who returns to public duties this week after helping to settle his wife, the Princess of Wales, at home as she recovers from abdominal surgery. He may also undertake some duties on behalf of his father, in addition to his own diary of engagements, while the king undergoes treatment. Buckingham Palace announced on Monday that doctors discovered the cancer during a medical procedure for an enlarged prostate. Sources have suggested that the cancer is in a different part of the king's body, but was discovered during the surgery last week. Harry is believed to be in contact with his father, but sources have claimed that there has been no rapprochement with William, who is said to have been left upset by the Sussexes' attacks on the royal family since Megxit. Harry's visit will raise hopes that there could be some thawing in the relations, which have been rocky since he and this one's wife emigrated in 2020. Thus, Harry is doing the right thing and is exhibiting his emotional empathy by returning to see his father, and undoubtedly will be updated as to more about his attendance in the United Kingdom. There are those that identify that this may well prove a pivotal moment for him to reconcile with both his father and his brother and his sister-in-law and other members of the royal family after the rift that has arisen. However, might it be that too much has flowed under the bridge and that it's now viewed as an irreconcilable position? Or does a matter as serious of cancer, which potentially could affect the king's life, draw matters into sharp focus to cause all of the relevant parties to let the past remain the past and to reconcile? Certainly Charles would want that to happen as part of the facade management, and it would also assist with regard to his control over Harry. Harry is going to be caught between two things: his compassion for his father, but also the position of his wife. And I'll be talking more about how she will be reacting to these developments. It might provide Harry with an opportunity to rehabilitate his image in the eyes of the British people. Seen as a traitor by many, the possibility of doing the right thing and reconciling with his father and being supportive could redeem himself. But let's see below the line what the current flavour of attitudes are towards Harry. Ms. Darley states, "Why announce it? Why not just quietly hop on a plane and go and see his dad? We don't need to know. It doesn't change anything about what he's done to the royal family. Can he not do anything privately?" Of course, what you have to bear in mind is that it is important for him to let it be known that he's attending, because, of course, if he didn't, there would be speculation that he didn't care and that he wasn't doing the right thing. Johnny B. Goody, "Stop reporting on him. We don't care. Self-publicist will even use his sick father to gain publicity. Hanging by a thread, probably attending to secure his inheritance. Shecky 4655, for someone who wants privacy, he certainly shares an awful amount of information with the press." Dibs60, Prince Harry rushing home is called a guilt trip, I'm afraid. I had the same with my sister when my mum was diagnosed. Hadn't seen her for years, and then she rushed in to try to take over, crying and saying sorry. London Girl, hasn't he caused his family enough anguish? The last thing any of them need right now is a visit from Harry, and no doubt his secret tape recorder. If he can't be bothered to come to see the family when they're well, don't bother now. Fit and Happy, the palace didn't release this information about Harry's travels, so it came from one place, his wife. So within hours, King Charles's diagnosis is already being exploited by the duo. I hope that Harry is searched from Mike before he sees his father, and the palace needs to record the meeting, otherwise it will be twisted then exploited as has happened before. Savick 1, he's attending with the Netflix crew, I presume. Taxed too much already, safeguarding his inheritance then. Finn Blue, Harry knows without his father he'll be cut adrift, panic mode I suspect. Interestingly, no sympathy at all in those comments for what Harry is doing, viewed as being self-serving. And, of course, the risk factor that arises is that as he returns, he will undoubtedly update his wife as to what's going on. And therein, that is a problem. Because this one's wife will not respect the privacy of the king. Harry, undoubtedly, will feed her the information as to what is wrong. That's a normal conversation that would take place between husband and wife. He would explain what's wrong with his father, the extent of the illness, etc. But this one's wife, with a lack of boundary recognition, runs the risk of leaking this information for her own purposes. Remember, this is about other people and not her, and that does not go down well with her. Therefore, her narcissism will be looking for an alternative opportunity to bring the focus back onto her. And one of the ways of doing this, of course, is through the leaking of information about Charles, which makes her seem important because she's a conduit for that information. But Harry has returned home to the United Kingdom, and this now throws into question whether there will be a reconciliation, and of course, how is this all going to make this one's wife react? I, of course, will be addressing those questions for you. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.